Hello viewers, I'm your host Pratiksha Mishra with another episode of South Asia Focus. Let's begin the show. As the US raises tariffs on Chinese goods, India finds itself in a strategic sweet spot. With a 90-day tariff break from Washington, New Delhi has a rare chance to strengthen its role in global supply chains. Sectors like textiles, electronics and auto parts are already gaining traction. If India leverages this window, possibly with a US-India trade deal, it could boost exports and emerge as a key global manufacturing hub.
What happens with China?
As the US escalates its trade offensive against China, with tariffs reaching up to 145%, India finds itself in a strategic sweet spot. In a bold move, Washington has announced a 90-day tariff hiatus for nations like India, giving New Delhi a rare opportunity to strengthen its role in global supply chains. While China faces punitive duties, India's moderate tariff regime and growing ties with the US position it as a practical China plus one alternative. American buyers, multinationals and global planners are now eyeing India more seriously for industries once dominated by Chinese exports. Instead of retaliating, India is choosing diplomacy, a move industry leaders see as pragmatic and forward-looking.
It will hurt India's industries across the board. Some industries they may gain because of the higher tariffs on the other nations, but since there is no predictability of the tariffs, I don't think any investor will be taking risk of investing in any country. So theoretically, we say India may gain on say labor intensive sectors and other sectors because of higher tariffs on China or Vietnam or even Bangladesh.
India stands to benefit from shifting global trade patterns, with export-driven sectors like textiles, electronics, auto parts and gems and jewelry poised for rising demand as buyers seek alternatives to China amid rising tariff hikes. This shift could reinvigorate the Make in India initiative as multinationals diversify their sourcing strategies. The current tariff truce also coincides with growing speculation about a US-India trade deal, which could ease regulatory barriers and deepen bilateral trade ties.
We are hopeful, especially with the President Trump saying he has a good chemistry with our Prime Minister and he says he's a friend. Our chance of getting a good bilateral deal is fairly good, and I'm optimistic on it.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी और प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप ने फरवरी में ही निर्णय ले लिया था कि हम आपसी संबंध बढ़ाते हुए बायलैटरल ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट एक ऐसा करार करेंगे जो भारत और यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स के बीच व्यापार को सरल भी करेगा, 500 बिलियन तक यानी आज से 2.5 गुना बढ़ाने का काम भी करेगा.
Experts caution that while Indian industries may face short-term disruptions, the long-term potential is significant.
India and the United Arab Emirates are taking bold steps to elevate their long-standing relationship into a future-focused strategic partnership. With high-level visits, strengthened defense cooperation and a renewed push for trade and innovation, both nations are aligning their economic and geopolitical interests. Take a look.
India and the United Arab Emirates share a rich and multifaceted relationship characterized by deep historical ties, robust economic engagement and vibrant cultural exchanges. In a landmark visit that underscores the growing partnership between the two countries, Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed, the Crown Prince of Dubai, visited New Delhi and met with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to explore new avenues for collaboration. Their discussions focused on strengthening the India-UAE comprehensive strategic partnership with an emphasis on key sectors such as trade, investments, defense, energy, technology, education, sports, and cultural exchange. Further strengthening this momentum, Indian Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal addressed the Dubai India Business Forum organized by Dubai Chambers in Mumbai.
I would encourage businesses on both sides to take forward the huge untapped potential in this relationship. Whether it's nuclear energy, whether it's critical minerals, renewable energy, green hydrogen, artificial intelligence, fintech, food security, cutting-edge technologies, powering our manufacturing base, and so much more. I am sure together we can work for the shared prosperity of the people of the United Arab Emirates, the people of Dubai, and the people of India.
Looking ahead, both countries are also seeking new opportunities from industry and business to elevate their strategic partnership. From logistics and infrastructure to investment and innovation, the partnership has expanded well beyond traditional sectors, driven by the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, which has become a cornerstone of bilateral growth.
I would like to express our appreciation to the Government of India for its continued commitment to strengthening bilateral partnership between our two nations. The transformative impact of the CEPA agreement is increasing bilateral trade is a testament to our strong relation and potential. At DP World, we are proud to be an enabler of this trade growth, backed by long-term investment in the UAE and India to drive inclusive economic growth and prosperity. We continue to invest in strategic assets, multimodal logistics, digital trade solutions to transform supply chains.
As India and the UAE continue to build a multi-dimensional strategic partnership, the focus on trade and economic integration has never been stronger.
From ancient spice routes to today's smart ports, our connections have continued to evolve and grow stronger. Today, India remains one of Dubai's most strategic and valued partners. Non-oil trade between our markets actually reached $38.7 billion. This is only during the first 9 months of 2024, achieving a year-to-year growth of almost 19%. The UAE-India Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, which is now approaching a third anniversary, is continuing to unlock the potential of our trade relations and actually deepen our economic ties.
As both nations chart a new area of cooperation, the India-UAE partnership stands as a model of mutual growth, regional stability, and global connectivity. With shared ambitions and strategic vision, the future of this dynamic relationship holds immense promise.
Time now for Asia This Week, the stories from across the continent.
Pakistan's textile sector is looking at opportunities to grab business as the US and China steadily hiked tariffs amid an escalating trade war, the head of the country's textile council said on Wednesday. The textile sector in Pakistan generates about $17 billion in exports and is the largest employer in the country, according to Fawad Anwar, chairman of the Pakistan Textile Council. Thousands of Afghan refugees continued to stream across the Torkham border on Monday after Pakistan intensified its deportation campaign, forcing undocumented Afghans to leave the country, many of whom had lived there for decades. In March, Pakistan's Interior Ministry reiterated its directive for all illegal foreigners and Afghan citizen card holders to leave the country by March 31st, warning that deportations would commence from April 1. Han Dong-hoon, a former leader of South Korea's ruling People Power Party, announced his bid for the presidency on April 10. South Korea will hold a presidential election on June 3 after former President Yoon Suk-yeol's impeachment stemming from a December martial law declaration was upheld on April 4. Han is considered a top conservative contender. He was a particularly vocal opponent of Yoon's martial law declaration.
More than 15 years after the horrific 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, India has secured a major breakthrough. Tahawwur Rana, an accused conspirator and close associate of David Headley, has been extradited from the United States and is now in Indian custody. This marks a significant diplomatic win for New Delhi and brings renewed global focus on Pakistan's long-standing support for cross-border terrorism.
After years of legal hurdles and courtroom battles, Tahawwur Rana, a key accused in the 2008 Mumbai attacks, has finally been extradited to India from the United States. The Pakistani origin Canadian businessman arrives to face trial for his alleged role in one of the deadliest terror attacks on Indian soil. This comes after a prolonged legal battle in US courts, culminating in the Supreme Court denying his final plea to block the extradition. His extradition marks a critical step forward in India's pursuit of justice for the 166 innocent lives lost in the 26/11 carnage.
I think it's a very important development, and especially because it brings a closure to the families who were affected by the dastardly attack in Mumbai on 26/11. And to those hundreds of families who lost their loved ones or people who were injured, to them it brings a sense of closure. To the people of India, it brings a sense of closure because finally we feel that, okay, though delayed, justice will finally be done. And this person will be convicted by an Indian court and given Indian punishment. Now that is a very important message. And I think it will have psychological reverberations across the terrorist world. All these people who harbor terrorists and the terrorists themselves, especially the masterminds, they are getting the message that regardless of what you do, you will face justice at some point of time. And then once this message goes across to them, they will be very careful in carrying out further attacks. So I think it is very important messaging also which is going across to the world.
Earlier this year, during Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the US, President Trump approved the extradition of Tahawwur Rana to face justice in India.
My administration has approved the extradition of one of the plotters and one of the very evil people of the world, and having to do with the horrific 2008 Mumbai terrorist attack, to face justice in India.
Rana was earlier convicted in the US for his links to Lashkar-e-Taiba, the terror group that plotted and executed the attacks from Pakistan. A US court convicted him of helping plot an attack against a Danish newspaper that printed cartoons of Prophet Muhammad, but cleared him of the charge of planning the 26/11 Mumbai attacks. Although Rana was acquitted, the trial brought his close links with David Goldman Headley, also known as Daud Gilani, a Pakistani-American Lashkar-e-Taiba operative and one of the main conspirators behind the Mumbai attacks, into the public domain. Headley, who is serving a 35-year sentence in the United States, surveyed targets across Mumbai with Rana's logistical and financial support, posing as a businessman setting up a branch of his immigration consultancy. This cover allowed Headley to make multiple visits to India to scout targets like the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel, CST railway station and the Jewish Community Centre, Nariman House. Rana now faces trial under several sections of the Indian Penal Code, including criminal conspiracy, murder, waging war against India and aiding terrorism.
He is accused of committing war against India. He is accused of committing murder in India. He is accused of committing forgery in India because he used his immigration business as a cover to give David Headley the visa papers and his travels, etc. So Headley, when he did reconnaissance of the hotel and locations, he did it on behalf of his company, showing as a business reason for his visit to India. So he is accused of forgery. And lastly, but not the least, he is accused of terrorism. So in all of these cases, Indian courts will try him.
The 26/11 Mumbai attacks remain one of the most horrific acts of terrorism in India's history. Over the course of 60 hours, 10 heavily armed terrorists from Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba targeted prominent locations in Mumbai. The attacks left 166 people dead and over 300 injured, sparking global outrage and exposing the scale of cross-border terror emanating from Pakistan. While the extradition of Tahabur Rana marks a significant legal and diplomatic achievement for India, it also casts a renewed spotlight on Pakistan's continued support for terror networks. Despite global pressure, Islamabad has failed to dismantle Lashkar-e-Taiba. Its founder and the 2611 mastermind, Hafiz Saeed, continues to live freely in Pakistan, despite being sanctioned by the United Nations and the United States.
More than a decade after 26/11 in Mumbai,
India has consistently raised concerns over Pakistan's unwillingness to act against terror outfits operating from its soil. The extradition of Rana, who played a key role in enabling the Mumbai attacks, underscores the urgent need for international accountability.
The vibrant celebrations of Ram Navami brought together communities across India, uniting devotees in a shared expression of faith and joy. In Ayodhya, the atmosphere was electrifying, filled with the glow of thousands of earthen oil lamps and the creativity of enthusiastic students painting colourful murals. As festivities continued into the evening, residents and visitors alike revelled in the spirit of togetherness.
The auspicious festival of Ram Navami was celebrated with great enthusiasm throughout India, as devotees expressed their joy and devotion in honor of the birth of Lord Rama, a revered figure in Hindu mythology. This vibrant festival featured various rituals and cultural events, showcasing the rich traditions of Hinduism. In the holy town of Ayodhya, the epicenter of the celebrations, residents gathered to illuminate the streets with thousands of earthen oil lamps.
भगवान राम का जन्मोत्सव आज अयोध्या में मनाया जा रहा है और उसी के उपलक्ष्य में अयोध्यावासी जो है भगवान राम के जन्म के उपलक्ष्य में जो है यहाँ दीपक जलाएंगे और लगभग 2.5 लाख दीपक की व्यवस्था हम लोगों ने की है.
Enthusiastic students were seen making bright, colorful murals of the Hindu deity. In the Hindu religion, Lord Rama is the 7th incarnation of Lord Vishnu and is believed to be a symbol of the triumph of good over evil.
सारे बच्चे अपने मनोबल के साथ, उत्साह के साथ आए हैं दीपक जलाने. राम का जन्म दुनिया को दिखेगा कि हम कितने खुश हैं अयोध्यावासी.
Families and friends gathered to partake in the celebrations, sharing in the joy and devotion that characterized this auspicious occasion. The vibrant atmosphere reflected a deep communal spirit as individuals from all walks of life united to honor the birth of Lord Rama. Laughter, prayers and heartfelt conversations filled the air, creating a sense of togetherness that was palpable.
आज भगवान का जन्मोत्सव बड़े धूमधाम से मनाया गया. आतिशबाजी और शाम को लाइटिंग, फूल बंगला वगैरह होगा.
रामनवमी को कहेंगे बहुत सारा सभी देशवासियों को बहुत सारे शुभकामनाएं और भगवान की आस्था से दर्शन करें और आगे बढ़े, सबकी मनोकामना पूरा करें.
The vibrant celebrations of Ram Navami not only honored Lord Rama but also reinforced the bonds of community, faith and hope among the people. With each oil lamp lit, the spirit of togetherness shone brighter, reminding everyone of the enduring values of love and unity that transcend barriers.
A celebration of faith, colour and unity, Ram Navami lights up hearts across India. And with that, we come to the end of this week's episode. See you next week. Till then, goodbye and take care.